students. So we will start the purest waters. We call it as double distilled water or distilled water. So pure water is rainwater. So based on this, present of impurities in the water. If no impurities are there, it is a purest water. Little bit of 0.1, 0.2 impurity is there, you call it as a rainwater or pure water. So how much are present in the impurities? Based on that, we are going to decide the water uses. If 0 ppm, so we can use it for all the purposes, whether it is generate the steam or we can using for drinking or we can using for other purposes, everything. If it is crossed to 2 ppm of impurities, we should not use the as boiler water because its limitation is 2 ppm. As the same way, for drinking purposes also, so if it is crossed to 200 ppm of impurities, it should not taking for drinking water. Beyond that, whatever the others we can use it is washing purposes, cooking purposes, or even for the agriculture purposes or industrial purposes or any other things we use it because it crossed the limitations of 200 ppm. If it is crossed 400 ppm, we should not using for the agriculture also. Crossing of 600 or 800 ppm, we should not using for agriculture also, industrial also. Any of the little uses of some building purposes. If it is crossed the 1000 ppm of water, so immediately we can use it as it is a sewage, it is a wastewater. So meaning of sewage is so cloud dilute solutions, cloudy impurities, cloudy natures are there. So totally after primary use discarded into as we can call it as sewage. It is dirty, so it is useless because of its impurity. You can going to test it as a more than 1000 ppm. Its color is also changed, taste is changed, everything is excess. It is not in the limitation, it is beyond the limitations. So we call it as a sewage or wastewater. In this, why it is happened for this sewage or wastewater? Because of some sources or some discharge substances are going into adding to the pure water, then the pure water become impure water or sewage. It's useless water or no use, dirty water, or it is a undesired water. So undesired water because of it is some substances is discharged into water. After primary use, it should not be used anything. That is also. Even we can call it as a drainage water also. So the drainage water it is too much of impurities are there. So what is the source? It is from the human beings after using also, after cooking and washing the utensils also. So after this washing these clothes also adding up this dirtiness to that. So it is generally we call it as a domestic discharges. As the same industrial discharges. As the same as some other factories discharges, domestic discharges, other discharges discharged into this pure water or running water, automatically the pure water become impure water. Where this pure water become impure, that we call it as a sources. The sources of impure water, these we can call it as generally. If it is a 0.1 source and 0.2 source, and non-point source. In that point, it is collectives from domestic sources or industrial sources or any other factories, including of textile industries or coloring industries or any of the labs, any of the other medical colleges, medical institutes. These impure water collection towards making into the channelite meeting at a point, so we call it as a one point source or a point source. In that, suppose if you want to classify, it is these domestic wastes and domestic impurities as well as industrial impurities. At the time of both these, we can mix it. At the time, we can separate the impurities by that water is very difficulty. So, for if we want, we can do it also, we cannot do it also. That first type is a point source of impurity. Second one is a non-point source. What are these things? Whether it is after using for agriculture. So, if it is any of, we can apply this, some humus, manures, including of fertilizers, chemicals, insecticides, any other things. In horticulture also, we can apply to this earth surfaces, or how much of it is absorbed by this crop. Afterwards, the excess is percolated and it is mainly reached to the source of drinking water, the source of underground water. The underground table is there, in that it will go into mix it. The first type is directly we can making into this sewage. Second type is indirectly we have done it, whether it is using of this agriculture or using of horticulture or any others. So in some we can farming of the humus, applying of this. So in land fillings also we can apply some water. So excess of these impurities, percolations, and to reach the water table, that is indirect or non-point sources. In this, of course, are some debris at the time of building, also some demolitions, wastages at the time of raining. So excess of impurities are percolated and reaches to the groundwater. These are the two sources. One is point source, another one is non-point source of water pollutions. In this, it automatically can converting it as a sewage. Of course, in this sewage are the polluted waters. So how it is we can call it as polluted waters? Because of we are discharging of unwanted substances or any substances into this atmosphere, into the water, into the air, or into the land. It destroys its physical nature, chemical nature, and biological characteristic features of this adverse effect. Make the nature of these natural things of air, water, as well as land, it is changing. That is, we can call it as a pollution. In this water pollution, so we can discharging of substances that react with the components of water H2O, making it as hazards. It's changing the physical nature, changing the chemical nature, changing the biological nature. We can call it as a water pollution. That is the polluted water. Afterwards, you can go into tests of its hardness. You can label more than 1000 ppm of hardness is there. Automatically, you can label it as this is a sewage water. So this sewage is because of primary discharging. So this what we can call it as discharge of substances after primary use. It is useless. It is unworthiness, no worthy. It is too much of impurities. It is not working. No need to use until you can filter it. So far we can call it. So before you can label given water sample is a wastewater or sewage, you can some other two tests are also you can make. Not only hardness, but also you can find out the BOD and COD. I think you know the full form of BOD and COD. B means biological or biochemical. O means oxygen demand. Biological or biochemical oxygen demand. Second one is chemical oxygen demand. So you can find out these two values. The values are the unit of BOD and COD, milligrams of oxygen per liter of wastewater. For this BOD, what you can do it is in the experiment, take how much of the water sample from the pond or from any of the others. It is given the water sample, you can go into test. You can collect 1 liter of DM water, any liter, 5 liter, 10 liter into that. So you can in the chamber, you can pour into the second chamber or this preserved chamber. Afterwards, you can spray the bacteria, spray the microorganisms or bacteria, algae, fungi. So these are and provide the oxygen. So these are the microorganisms and provide the oxygen. That water is required any much of oxygen. If not absorb the oxygen, you don't call it as it is wastewater. It is absorb the water. How much of oxygen is absorbed, and it is the changing of impurities. So it is any water containing the impurities. We can broadly classify their on their nature two types of impurities. Number one, organic impurities. Number two, inorganic impurities. So these organic impurities are generated by domestic and of course of other sources also. It is possible by the active action of bacteria degradable into its constituents. These inorganics, it is non-degradable also. We can test it, measure it and remove it. So far, so given water sample, so it is preserved for up to 4 to 5 days in the oxygen generated chamber or oxygen supplying chamber. 3 to 4 days or up to 5 days under the room temperature, you will supply the oxygen and spray the microorganisms up to 4 or 5 days. Any much of organic impurities are there, that is completely oxidized. Afterwards that oxidized, these inorganic impurities should not oxidize. So far we can call it as BOD, means biological or biochemical oxygen demand. So it is, what is the definition for this? Amount of oxygen is required for complete oxidation of organic impurities by microorganisms under the room temperature up to 4 or 5 days. It is called as a BOD. It is expressed in milligrams of oxygen per liter of wastewater. For example, 1 gram of glucose is, if you want to oxidize, you can supply the oxygen, then it is converting into as a carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide is discharged from the water sample into the atmosphere. The plants are using the carbon dioxide, changing into as carbohydrates using of the carbon dioxide and water, using of sunlight, preparation of this food, no problem. So when 1 molecule of glucose is oxidized, the carbon dioxide, water and energy is also released. That energy is, we can use it also, no problem. If it is not supplying of oxygen, instead of 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 6 molecules of water, it can forming into as 2 molecules of acids, that is alcohols and carbon dioxide as released. So that is nothing but it is in the toxic in nature. It is no need to us. So far, the amount of oxygen is required for complete oxidation of organic impurities by microorganisms under the room temperature up to 4 or 5 days, we can call it as BOD. This is definition, so we can get it understanding the nature of this. But what about these impurities of that is inorganic substances? It is not determined. So far, by the determination of BOD, you don't decide the water is a sewage or water is a impure water or water is a polluted water. You can find out the COD values also. So far, the chemical oxygen demand is required. So what is the definition for this also? The amount of oxygen is required for complete oxidation of both organic and inorganic impurities by strong oxidizing agent like potassium dichromate or potassium permanganate. So, so it is also expressed in milligrams of oxygen per liter of water. So same definition. So it is continued and we are adding of inorganic also. In the COD experiment, we can measure both, including of organic impurities and inorganic impurities. Finally, more than 10 ppm or 10 milligrams of water per liter. If you got the values, more than that, you can decide it. Given water sample is wastewater sample.
or also called it as a sewage. So for how do you measure it? How do you measure it for these experiments in the COD? For this, it is through this volumetric analysis, not the gravimetric. Gravimetric also we can do it. In the volumetric analysis, we can require one standard solution. Analyte is given water sample. For that, the given water sample is keep aside. So afterwards, you prepare the one standard solution. Standard solution you can weigh the FAS salts, ferrous ammonium sulfate, ferrous sulfate, ammonium sulfate, 6H2O. Hexahydrated ferrous sulfate, ammonium sulfate, we can call it as ferrous ammonium sulfate. You can weigh these crystals. Also, it is called as a Morse salt. It's a double salt. You can weigh accurately with the electronics balance. Afterwards, you can transfer it into the 250 ml volumetric flask. You can add 15 ml of dilute H2SO for avoid or prevention of hydroxides. Ferrous hydroxides has formed from this FAS. Afterwards, that FAS standard solution is unfit to estimate the COD. So far, you can add 15 ml of dilute sulfuric acid, shake well, prepare the standard solution. You add the DM water up to the mark. So that is, we can call it as ferrous ammonium sulfate standard solution. So how you can going to find out its normality? Normality of ferrous ammonium sulfate. What is the weight? That is W into 4. That 4 is, you have used the 250 ml volumetric flask. So you can multiply it by 4 divided by 392. It's equivalent weight of FAS. So you can find out it and you write it. That is the normality of FAS. So this is, so far you fill to the 125 or 50 ml burette. Afterwards, whichever you brought water sample, you can pipette out the either 25 ml or 50 ml from that. You can pipette out the 25 ml. Then you can pipette out the 25 ml of water sample into the 250 ml of chemical flask. Followed by, you can add oxidizing agent 25 ml of potassium dichromate. Then you can add 20 ml of H2SO4 1:1. Shake well. Afterwards, you can adding the pinch of furan. It is chemically we can call it as a 1/10 phenanthrene sulfate. Shake well. Initially, you can get the reddish brown color. So afterwards, you can titrate against with the FAS standard solution. So when you can get this bluish green color, so you can titrate against with this given FAS. At one point, add slowly of this FAS to the conical flask dropwise. At one point, you get the end point is reddish brown. This is, you can do it. Again, you throw it this solution. So you can pipette out 25 ml of water sample, 25 ml of potassium dichromate, 20 ml of H2SO4 plus a pinch of furan. Shake well, get the bluish green color, titrate against with the same FAS, same ml you can get it, do it 2 to 3 times. The burette reading you can get it as a 10 ml of course. This titration we can call it as a back titration. I think you might know what is titration. Same definition for back titration also. It is the process of estimation of strength of analyte or given water sample, strength of analyte with using of known solution, adding of other reagents also. So that is including of a pinch of indicator. Indicator to find out the end point. You can add it. You got the of course of 10 ml. So in all 3 trials you can get 10 ml. So burette reading, back titration burette reading is 10 ml. This is as the same way for this experiment require blank titration also. Name itself indicate blank means not only you can do it for these empty vessels. Instead of pipette out the 25 ml. Instead of the analyte, you can add all other reagents. So titrate against with the same FAS solution. At the time you getting the readings also. You pipette out the 25 ml of potassium dichromate, add 20 ml of H2SO4, pinch of ferrine. Pinch of ferrine you can add it immediately, bluish green color you can get it. Titrate against with the same FAS solution. At the time you will get the burette reading, might be it is 2 ml. So do it 1 or 2 times. This is 2 ml is a long titration burette reading. So this 10 ml is a back titration burette reading. This very clear to us. So what is in the first and second experiment? Whatever the other reagents you go on adding to that, those react with analyte only. Here the potassium dichromate not only oxidize the wastewater but also oxidize the ferrine. So far we require the Blanc titration value in the COD experiment. So in this you will get it as that 2 ml is Blanc titration, 10 minus 2 you can subtract at the time. So you can using for this calculation. Why do you want this Blanc titration value? Because of this potassium dichromate not only oxidize the wastewater but also oxidize the ferrine also we can require. So in that given wastewater using of 8 ml you can go in to find out the COD value to that. So how do you going to estimate? First line you can write standard line. 1000 ml of one normal FAS required 8 grams of oxygen. That is standard line. Second line is burette reading ml. That is burette reading ml means 10 minus 2 ml of A molarity. A molarity means already you can weigh this out and what you can get, it is multiplied by 4 divided by 392. What is that value? You can go into substitute. So followed by 8 gram, it is in the standard line, you can take into that, divided by 1000. This value you can clear to that, immediately you can get it as that value is 25 ml of wastewater, water sample, you can get it as this value. So for in this you can go in to find out for 1 ml. So divided by to that is 25 followed by, so it is in the gram. You can changing into the milligram. So multiplied by 1000. So multiplied by 1000 is in the 8 gram become 8000 milligram. That 800 milligram. The unit of COD is milligrams of oxygen per liter of wastewater. So for to get it for per liter, again you will multiply it by 1000. 1000 first multiplied for change into the milligram. Second time you are going to multiply it by 1000. You can converting into as either ppm or milligrams per liter of wastewater. So from this like this you will go into estimation of COD at the time above the 10 ppm or 10 milligrams of oxygen per liter of wastewater. The given water sample, what you have brought into the lab, that water sample is definitely you can label as it is a sewage, it is unwanted water, or it is a wastewater. So you can give the certificate for that. What are these other things? Treatment is also there. We can treatment of sewage water into the drinking water, it is also there. It is next we will going to decide, but we can get it as from this. So in the numerical problems also they have given Blanc titration value, back titration value, subtract from Blanc back. So what you can get it as, that is followed by you can other values, the concentration, what is this strength of potassium dichromate as given, you can use it and easily you can find out that using of concentration or the FAS also that is given. Along one more method is also there in the numerical problem. What is this? How much grams of, how much ml of potassium dichromate is used to completely oxidize the wastewater, that is given. So and what is you can get it followed by it is normality of potassium dichromate is also given. How much of ml is it is also as given. You can neatly estimate how much is pipetted 25 ml. You can use the formula N1V1 is equal to N2V2. N1 is you going to find out the normality. So N2 is N1 is normality. N2 is normality of potassium dichromate. V2 is how much ml it has used. V means volume, N means normality. So normality of potassium dichromate, how much of ml is it is used to oxidize the by wastewater. That is how much of ml of wastewater is taken 25. This N1 is equal to N2V2 divided by N1. You can get it as that normality, the strength of unknown solution, that is wastewater, multiplied by that is 8,000. 8,000 is milligrams of oxygen is required. One normality of 1000 ml. So for multiplied by 8,000, so that is that ppm or milligrams of oxygen per liter of wastewater, you can get it. From that values, only given 3 values, immediately we will going to estimate the given water sample is using for anything. It has crossed the 1000 ppm hardness, it is a wastewater. It is crossed the more than 10 milligrams per liter of wastewater. We can decide immediately given water sample is wastewater. It is not using for anything. This is okay. Thank you.